iPad out here so I can check audio and stuff.
Alright, I will just stay on the character select screens just so you don't run into a random loading screen.
Sure. Oh, hey. Alright. Oh, hey. Alright, I hear my audio.
Can you hear my audio?
Alright, I hear my audio. Can you hear my audio? Yes, I can.
Can you hear game audio?
Yes, I can. You're going to have to hear game audio. I need to get into something there.
Alright. Where is the dang campaign?
Edge of Fate. Up there. Latest expansion.
Aha. Here. I didn't know that was clickable. So Caldera.
Yeah, so launch that. Let's see if I hear the music.
I can also adjust the level. But
yep, we're getting audio.
Cool. Well, hello.
Hello, friends.
Trying something a little new today. We're showing, we got some Destiny 2, and I'm gonna get a Jason in here. What is it? Where is the dang multiplayer menu?
Okay, I got it.
Alright, cool. I haven't played Destiny in quite a while, and they changed the UI, so I'm a little bit lost, but luckily, Jason is here.
Hello, I'm here.
And
the hottest it takes.
I discovered that this aspects of this expansion actually make me motion sick, so there might be moments when I stop moving, so I decided to also show Jason's screen, because he has no such weaknesses.
That's right. Forever strong.
Yeah, but you just fucking died.
Did I? Did I?
Ugh.
Bonk.
Hello.
See you.
Touch some grass. So, you may have heard that Destiny 2 just got a new expansion called Edge of Fate. And I'm still working through the campaign, but Jason has... Have you raided yet?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so Jason's basically done everything you can do so far, and he will tell you all about everything going on here, and confirm or deny any of the rumors about the said quality of this expansion. And what?
All right. Well, hey, we're here for hot takes. You want my hot take right off the go?
You're gonna say it's good, actually?
I enjoy Destiny 2. That's a hot take these days.
That's fair.
You know, and like, is this expansion perfect? No. Is there stuff that needs to be improved? Absolutely. Is that par for the course? 100%. But I think they have good ideas for what needs to be done, like to actually freshen up and like improve the game. And it's just growing pains, like, and especially for a game as old as Destiny 2 and what Destiny 2 has been for such a long time, that if you're expecting it, you know, the changes are going to take more getting used to, because, hey, like, it's not entirely the same that it has been. For the past, let's say the past 4 years have been a pretty good cycle of stuff. And, you know, they've already, today, but we had a tweet out or post out or whatever that it was like, yeah, we see feedback about some things, and we're going to be making, you know, here's the plan changes that we have that are going to go live. You know, I would guess based off of what they said for the patch note, it's going to be like within the next couple of weeks. That's mainly focused around gear and dungeon, or raid and dungeon stuff, but, you know, like, it takes time. Like, it's a miracle these days that games get made, and sometimes it ain't gonna be everyone's cup of tea, and that's also okay. You don't have to be
Is it okay?
the biggest fan of this game. Yeah.
Or is every bad decision a developer makes a literal war crime?
Uh, how hot do you want this to get, Mike? I don't think we can go fully down that rabbit hole. No, every decision a developer makes isn't a war crime.
Interesting. The internet says otherwise.
I know it does. I don't know. It comes from, I guess, being an old man, just being like, I remember when none of this
What
was
the
like,
heck?
we didn't even have any of this stuff, and now we have so many more things than we used to growing up, and maybe just cut people some fucking slack. 'Cause everybody's just doing their best.
Look, it's not the developers of the game that need new cars.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't resist.
No, you can't like fucking light his ass up, piece of shit. Um, yeah, so let's actually talk about what's new and what's different. The biggest thing is they changed all the stats. I'll bring that up on my screen since I can show that off here. Stop shooting me. I'm trying to show off stats. Go away.
I do believe one of the stats is now gun.
Yeah, one of the stats is weapons. Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
that to me that is the only stat this game needs is gun. You have the power of gun and friendship,
so
but mostly gun.
and friendship, mostly gun. So they used to have mobility, resilience, recovery, discipline, intellect, and
Don't ask me. I don't remember.
strength. That's right, strength. So, and those equated to your like movement speed. And for hunters, mobility was your class recovery. They had resilience, which was like your damage reduction, and for titans, that was your class ability recovery. They had recovery, which was how much health you get back when you're not getting shot at, and how quickly that happens, which was also the class ability for warlocks. And then they had discipline, which was for grenades, strength, which was for melee, and intellect, which was for super. So the way that they redid all of that was they said, okay, everybody just now has 100 resilience, like just period. We're just because everybody was specking into it because it was like mandatory to survive. Just, everybody has that now. That's the baseline. The health stat, as I have up here on the screen, increases the amount of health you gain each time you pick up an ultimate power and reduces flinch. When you go above that 100, then it starts doing other things, like you have additional shield and your shield recharges more quickly. So it's like, you know, what was recovery now is kind of health, and that's the benefits that it gives you. Melee, you have a melee stat that is literally just melee, but now again, you go above 100 and it adds actually a boost to the amount of damage that your melee attacks do. You have a grenade, determines how quickly your grenade cools down. Again, how much you're over 100, you get bonus grenade damage. Super, how quickly you get your super, increases damage of your super. Class, reduces your class ability. So like, they streamlined everything so it's the same.
Yes, but what does
across the
poise do,
board.
Jason?
What does poise do? Fortunately, that stat is not in this game.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Because then people really would lose their minds.
That's true.
But the weapon stat then increases your reload and handling speed and increases your weapon damage against certain kinds of combatants. So, you know, they went ahead and they just said, okay, these are basically what everybody wants. Like, this is how they're doing their build, and this is, you know, so we're just gonna do this. The consequence and the side effect of this was that all old armor is still keeping those same stats. But the new armor, which I don't have any, well, I have one example here on my Titan. The new armor is way different in terms of the way it distributes stats, and then it also goes into a tier system. So the old armor, it was like, it would spread stats throughout all 6 of the different, you know, attributes that you had, and it would have basically, like, people finally figured out, like, oh, this is like, it has spikes in certain things. So like, if you got a high discipline stat, right, like it could more or less roll like, what was it, I think like 40 total points, or 50, I can't, or yeah, I think it was like 40 total points. and the top 3 stats, which were mobility, resilience, recovery, and same goes for the bottom 3, um, discipline, intellect, and strength. Which means that like people were like, okay, if you're gonna go out and like hunt armor with lots of big spikes, you would need to have this mod on so that you could ensure that the bottom stats had that in a high roll, and then your top stats, you just, it would get kind of up to fate. That old system, worked for a long time, but again, they kind of conflate everything down, and so now the result is now you have this tier system of armor where they actually follow different types of archetypes. So whatever archetype they follow, that's going to be your main big stat, and then it's going to spread out the other points across 2 other abilities. So, like for instance, on this Paragon, I get a super. Paragon is related to super, so my super stat there is high, and then it rolled randomly. The next highest one was in melee, and then the next highest was in weapons, and that's it. It only rolls 3 stats, but like this is tier 1, and these are 29, 16, 10. Once you start getting up to like tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, like tier 5 armor can have a total of 100 stat points, which wasn't possible before under the old system. Like you were topped out at like, on a really good piece, 70, 69 usually.
Nice.
Yeah. So the way this works now is like, hey, like, okay, so you can pick up 3 pieces of armor and 1 archetype, so that and are for sure going to have things that are going into this, like you're going to get your 30 stats in this specific set thing, because that's what you have set your ghost mods to, right? For looking for, you're looking specifically for Paragon or Grenadier or what have you, and then you can get those pieces and hope that they roll in what you need for the substats, and then you can get those other 2 pieces from something else, right? Maybe then it's like you're going for weapons and 3, and then grenades and 2 or whatever, right? So you can kind of mix and match and hope like your stat spread comes out so that you can get over 100 things. It's all in the attempt to kind of like help with build crafting. It's not like it's the part of the problem is the tiering of the gear, because like in order to hit tier 3 gear, you have to be power level 300. Well, everybody starts at power level 10, and while you can get to 200 pretty quickly and easily, getting above 200 is then like, that's where the grind starts, and then from 300 to 400, and then currently the max is at 450, so, going from 400 to 450 is even more of one.
So is there a Forever 29 analog in the game currently?
Kind of, like honestly, kind of like that grind from 400 to 450 is the Forever 29 thing. I'm not anywhere close to there. Even on my main character, I'm like 270. So it is what it is for that. Like, and I'll see it when I get there for the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where it's at for that. At least like getting up to that point, it is it's somewhat reasonable. But again, it's like, hey, I knew going into stuff before Edge of Fate, I knew each season what that would look like for me, what I need to do, what the soft cap was. And there's still community soft cap and stuff like that, but now it's a much like, it'd be the equivalent of me coming in on a final shape and having to start my grind to power level 2000, with a whole new character. So like, I get like there's frustrations people have around that because it's this whole new thing. I get that, makes sense. Um, getting the then it's like, okay, but and I don't want any of this armor now because I want all the good stuff when I hit that, power level 300.
Sure.
Okay, sure, I understand that too. Uh, and then like you're not even going to see the tier 5 stuff until you start getting into an update which is coming in September that adds a lets you get up to level like power level 500 and stuff like that. It's just like, okay, now what's that grind gonna look like? So yeah, I mean, it's a whole new grind and the grind is here. I think I think a lot of the frustration has kind of come from, while there has always been something of a grind, it was a lot more accessible than it is now. So there's frustrations around that. There's frustrations around the fact that the tiering system for gear means that oh, I'm not getting the best loot until I do the grind. I understand that. They need to probably figure out something with the way that some of this is distributed, so it's a little bit more I know I can get, if as long as I'm grinding through tier 2, maybe there's a 20% chance, 30% chance that a piece of loot is actually going to be tier 3 instead. Something like that, right? There's the power discrepancy that stuff has. So right now we're playing on legendary, which means we're playing, I think, at a -10, maybe -20.
I think it was 10.
There's Fabled above this, which is -20, and then there's Mythic, which is -50. Here's the thing, though, that with those, I kind of learned. People are used to doing this solo and stuff. Obviously, Mythic stuff just becomes a bullet sponge. This one boss, instead of doing what is currently I'm doing 300 damage, I'd be seeing numbers like 20.
And put the power level in perspective, I'm with my heavy weapon doing 42 damage a shot.
Yeah, and so then that would go down to 20. 20 damage a shot.
Yeah.
And so it just feels very bullet spongy. But the difference is on Legend and Fabled difficulties for the campaign stuff, it scales based off of fire team numbers. Mythic does not. So they're just this is the difficulty. Oh, this gets a lot easier when you just have a fire team. You have a fire team in of 2 other people, and it's actually not that. Not. It's about on par with a Grandmaster, but but it's more forgiving than a Grandmaster, I think, in some ways too. But hey, I understand. Not everybody wants that, but I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm just man, the challenge is there for you because people for years have been saying there's not enough challenge in Destiny, and it's here's the challenge, and then the response is, but not like this. And I'm so what do you mean when you say challenge? What is it that you're looking for? That needs to be clear, right? Hey, if they're willing to give you a challenge and say here's something hard, what is it that you're looking for in a challenge? And that just needs to be clear feedback, other than not this, right? That doesn't help anybody.
Why is it not letting me? Okay, the Matter Spark was.
It does that. It's on a set timer for some reason. I'm not sure why. So after I use it, there's a cooldown period, or after one other person uses it. So yeah, so hey, they put difficulty in this game that extends to stuff like the raid.
But does it feel artificial because of said bullet spongy? Because that was that was what I hated about say bosses in Borderlands.
Yeah.
Where it's just boy, this is a fun fight, but damn if I'm not just sitting here chipping away at a health bar.
Right. And I think the biggest thing is Bungie has yet to figure out or understand properly how to provide Diablo, I think, does a really great job of this when you're pushing. Well, this was from Diablo 3, but when you're pushing rifts in Diablo 3, they had a really great understanding of how to make you feel powerful, but you're also a glass cannon, right? You feel strong, and I can wipe up the wipe through all this stuff, and I'm gonna push harder and push harder until you hit that thing of just oh, I'm having too many deaths. So I need to
Or I
figure
die
something
too
out.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to figure something out that's gonna solve this, and then you're right back in it, and you're just like mopping through. It's more difficult in a first-person shooter because there's more, like you can't just have entirely all overpowered stuff, because then that actually hurts the game. If like I feel too strong and nothing's a challenge, right? But there needs to be like so that what that balance is, I don't know. Like I honestly cannot say, but 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 that's the problem is the crux of all this is basically
Oh no,
people
they
want
added
that
walk and
power.
talk to Destiny. We're Gears of War now.
Yep. Well, I mean, you can send it to your comms and just like hear it in your head like usual.
Understanding comes not a moment too soon.
Weird.
Between
Yeah.
the Elixir and the Vex, the
Um,
situation here is unstable.
well, they did this too because this was this direct feedback response to people saying like, why do we like come here? Like in the past, you'd come here and then be like, hey, warp back and talk to Ikora. So
Yeah.
you warp back to the hub and talk to Ikora, then you come back right back here, and you're just like, that wastes my time. All right, so they fixed it. Like
Yeah, it's
so
nice.
they like one of those cases like I said, like they're working on things and it's just like how much time, and it's never quick enough or whatever. But so anyways, back to that difficulty discussion is
Customized mode. There we go.
find that right line, and part of it comes from I think enough people are willing to put in the time on something for difficulty. I think they can. I think people are fine. I mean, people were doing day one rating, and that was this time was an absolute sweat
Cluster.
fest. Yeah. Well, for one team, it took them 12 hours before they finished their first boss.
And how
And
much
so,
of that
like,
was due to the change to the gearing and relative DPS of a player?
So that's just it. Like I imagine a good chunk, right? Like, so the raid came out 4 days after launch, and that is very quickly with this many changes, right? And this isn't touching upon like, yes, I understand that there were bugs and everything else, but just like that particular aspect of giving people the time to understand the new systems and gear up around it and build around it wasn't very long. So the end result was people using what they knew. What they knew was Thunderlord and other stuff from the past past times of doing this. Outbreak perfected, other things. It's just like, all right, this is what we're going back to, and like people were doing it, but oh man, was it like by the barest of margins. And in a way, it was awesome to watch. Like it was awesome to see, and like
I
like
didn't
it was the
catch
most.
where to go with the Matter Spark, so
Oh, hold on a second. I can lower the barrier for you somewhere here. Where is that? I think I can.
Well, I went up a vent. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind, I'm a dummy. I climbed up the top of the vent.
Oh. So yeah. So anyways, so I found it kind of like thrilling to watch, and a lot of the folks who were like in it and doing it, a lot of them actually really enjoyed it too. But it was not community friendly. Like it was not the thing. Like a lot of folks who have tried doing contests in the past and cleared stuff were just like, they either went in, dipped their toes, and were like, nope, this ain't it, or they were watching and said the same. So, it's unfortunate, but like, again, it's kind of like I don't fault the developer like for how often that they've heard that they want tough stuff, they made something tough. I don't know, like, hey, that just kind of goes down to that's their decision, and some people are gonna like it, some people aren't. What do you learn from there? What do you do better next time?
I feel like the acquisition of gear good enough to even really compete in a contest mode was weighted heavily towards streamer types, right? Like dedicated teams.
So it's people who are like fully prepping it, and like, yeah, people were finding like ways to quickly run certain missions that would help with getting gear. and that got
Lodi, how are you
disabled,
so
and then
adept with
like
Ionion's language?
other things like
You said you've been here a few
being
weeks
being
at best.
content creators in this space and like having access to this quickly also means that then you're on the receiving end of, well, you're also public, and so people, you know, if you're out there and you're talking about this, that means it's going to get noticed that much sooner, right? And people are going to not be able to take advantage of it. Which, you know, that's, I don't, there's no one to blame in that situation. That's just the reality of working in the game. And like, you know, if it's not that person, then they're just going to notice like general player activity, right? Even if nobody was streaming it, they would see there's a lot of people going into this, and this is taking this amount of time. That doesn't seem right. What's going on here? So, you know, but regardless, yeah, like this felt, you know, as a lot of them do, because of that short time, it was like if you're not dedicating yourself to this beforehand, you're not probably participating in it. And then, so that drove people away. But, you know, the big part of that, like why you have to spend so much time, comes down to the rewards factor. People are willing to and happy to spend time on a difficult activity if they feel like their time is being rewarded. And there's just not enough rewards given correctly in all this. Like, Borderlands, like, literally showers you in loot, and, you know, a lot of it is trash, but hey, like, you know, at least you have that thing of seeing that loot pinata explosion. Destiny does not have that problem, and I feel like they should. Like, I feel like particularly, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, is like, if I'm doing something hard, I don't want to get one legendary out of it. I want to get a bunch of legendaries. And their portal system, which we'll show off in a second here after we do this mission. By the way, we're on the new location, Kepler, showing off like one of the little quests that is at this location now. Part of the campaign. But the new portal system, I think, is a way to address that. It just isn't fully cooked yet. And it's not that they, like, you know, this isn't anything having to do with bugs. It's just like, I think, like, some of their vision for it wasn't very well communicated. I think also just they need to tweak a few things in there. But I really like it, like, and I think it's a very good idea and something that this game needs. It's just getting it into a better spot than it currently is. And I think that's easy to do. Like, you know, and again, they're already making some changes here and there to different things, so I don't envision that being an issue. It's just, you know, all these games live and die by, well, what happens to your player numbers in the meantime? And are the players going to stick around for it? And I don't want to touch too much upon that because I have my own gripes in that situation, but yeah. A lot of me talking about different things in this game, but you know, that's talking, but again, talking through a lot of sort of what I've noticed as I've played it, a lot of things that, you know, I like about this, that I think that they did right, and I hope that they are going to improve upon, because I, on the whole, think these are good changes that this game needed. I'm okay with the stats being changed. I'm okay with having to get new gear, because at least I know if I want to make this build now, I know what I need to be going for. I need to go for, you know, 2 pieces of grenadier and 1 piece of weapons and 1 piece of whatever. Like, I can know what to target, and I know what I need to do, and then I just need to go out there and farm for it. That's, you know, that's any game. That's like you and me doing the Diablo run bosses over and over again for, hey, I'm looking for this ancient mythic helm or whatever, right? This.
Sorry, I've just been kind of dinking around because I don't know where all the.
You're fine.
Like, I get the mechanic, but I don't know where all the hot spots are.
No problem. I like the new portal activity. I like, you know, I like the new weapons. I think there's a lot of good things that I'm looking forward to with this. And I'm gonna give them the time of day and the time to see what happens, because that's just, my feelings for the game. I also understand people that are frustrated, that are done with it. I mean, it gets hard. So many years you spend to a game, like you felt this way with Final Fantasy 14. Like you reached a point where you're just like, I'm good with this. I feel okay leaving off at this point.
But that was also the to actually give a direct analog. The previous expansion of this game was the conclusion of the. It was the conclusion of the big story that they had been telling at that point.
Yeah.
And with Final Fantasy, exactly the same thing. It's like I played that game since it launched. So I was like, you know what? This is a good time to get potentially 10 more years of my life back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, people felt that way doing Final Shape, and they're like, okay, I'm good with this now. And then there's people who are just like, oh, I'll check out the next thing. And then they check out the next thing and like, no, I am good with this now. So, there's all that kind of stuff. But, hey, is there a good time to play Destiny? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like this is good stuff. I'm enjoying doing these things with my weekly group and friends. I'm enjoying doing we did rating. We have rating that we do every week, and it felt like progression rating, and I really like that. Actually, I think that's something that.
Welcome to the fold, friend.
I mean, it's something that I've always liked, and it was just like, it's something I didn't really realize I missed from this game until I was presented with it, because I'm so used to the raids in this game. Like, the only time that it sort of feels like that is when we're doing what was the master version of the raid, trying to hit specific challenges, and that was less, that's less about progression rating, under getting mechanics and DPS optimized and everything, and that was more about, just doing a specific thing. And it was like, we already knew the encounter, we knew how to do the DPS, we knew how to do everything. It was just, now we have to do this extra thing, and do we have enough teammates that can, keep up with what their change in roles or whatever are, right? And how long does it take them to learn how to do this thing?
Her name is Maya.
Right, totally different feel than like what it was this last time of doing this, and like that feeling of like, hey, we're just gonna tackle this, and like, hey, cool, we cleared one boss, and we're gonna start trying the next one, and we made some progress on that, and we did some damage, and like this upcoming week we'll keep pushing on it and keep seeing, until we get everything down, and like, hey, we're good. We now have this raid down locked. But like, it was a very different feeling from the past of just like, well, there's all these guides, we all know what to do. We're just gonna go in and we're just going to get the raid done.
She can do anything to get what she wants.
Oh, hey, it's Rebecca.
It's Dean Rebecca.
Yeah,
such a lovely name. So the thing to probably show off now that I've yammered on for 2.5 hours is.
Oh, I counted on you yammering off for 2.5 hours while I battle motion sickness.
Yeah. So the thing that I think probably to go into now is the portal, and show that off, and what that looks like. Specifically for you. Well, here, actually, make me fire team lead. Probably is going to be easiest in this case.
Any vibrational disruption could dislodge the lock and speed the singularities.
So in the portal,
here's the portal.
Yeah, this is now the kind of launch page. So like, when you bring up your director, it'll show you the world initially, but then right over to that, or if you're in orbit, this is what you see is the portal. And they have, here's the campaign in the top left. They have their seasonal hub here, which is, they got this weekly stuff, and they used to have the I'm gonna forget what it's called, the not the Paragon. It's the still on the Pale Heart. Pathfinder, that's right. They used to have their Pathfinder system that they did for Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard, where it's like, hey, you do these certain tasks and you connect all these nodes up, and then you get to the end and you can reset it and do it again. I never liked that system because it was like busy work managing different things and making sure I do stuff. This now is their replacement of all that stuff, and so it just is like, it's 20 ranks. It's done within a day or two of playing. If you're just doing portal stuff, you get 600 bright dust, you get an exotic engram, an exotic cipher, and ascendant shard, which are used for leveling up your exotics and stuff. You get some unstable cores, like you get a bunch of just general in-game materials. You get a couple of powerful gear drops and an exotic engram, and it's just like perfect. Like, I don't know, for me, I'm just like, this is easy. This is what I need. It's just like, this gives me a very easy thing to achieve just by playing. They have some daily challenges that give you progress on this, and they have weekly challenges. None of these are crazy. They're all pretty straightforward. They're just literally do stuff inside of this portal, and you're going to knock them out. The other benefit is they give you bonus drops. So for instance, if I go into Fire Team here and look, I see now, like, if we do Proving Grounds, you get a completion reward. I get a bonus focus that I know that if we achieve grade B or higher, I'm going to get this weapon. And I also have one bonus drop on this. So if we do this and we can we can just run it with matchmaking on with whatever, or if I customize the difficulty, it'll turn matchmaking off, and I can set by going to customize here. So you see, just base, I'm going to get a C+. These are the base modifiers that they have on. Like, here's how you're just going to run this. Well, if I want to get that B, then I click on customize here, go into customize, and now I can set the difficulty. That shows me the base combatant power. All this tells me is if I am lower level than them, they're going to be tougher. If I'm equal or above, again, that kind of goes to that power fantasy. There's not, the delta is what I set it to be in this case. Mm-hmm. Then I have all these modifiers, so there's some that are set. That show me as I go across what this means, and then I can set my own modifiers from there. So these are banes I can choose. So I can set enemies that are going to have these specific banes: threaded and caltrops, Screeber and shroud, Screeber and front shielding. And as I do that, it raises the combatant power, it raises the challenge multiplier, which is going to get it higher so that it can hit getting a B. Some of these things, if you go in, for example, just equipment locked. That's an easy one, gives you a lot of points, and it doesn't change the combatant power at all. So I can usually, like, for a lot of these things, you can go in, you can do like that, and maybe one or two small things that aren't like that big of an impact, and get to get to a higher level pretty easily. And part of this system is based off of, what it's looking at here as far as my power, combatant power. Part of this is based on the fact that the system knows my Titan is currently at 216, but if I were to actually go through and infuse stuff, I'd be at a higher power level. So it's kind of like you can actually take on a tougher challenge. You can go up to an even higher thing. So if I set the combatant power to a higher level than what I currently have, that starts going up because it, again, it's tracking all this stuff. So I can see, hey, if I put this in here, then that's going to bump it up. But anyways, this all to say, just like this system lets you customize now what you want to do. And then, if you hit these points, you're going to get these kind of rewards and drops from it. I like this system. Again, it's not perfect, but this is a lot clearer for if I want to just come in and no one is around to play, I can do solo. I can go in here and I can see where my bonus drops are. I can see, there's something I want to go farm for. There's specific loot. So let me just go hop into that thing and I'll grind that out, set the difficulty to whatever I need, and do that for a little while. They have pinnacle missions, which are the old exotic missions that you can go in and do. Crucible is there. So yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and set one of these up for us to run it into. But it's just this system I think is a vast improvement for the game on a whole, and it's just there needs to be a little bit better understanding for like why this is, you know, why do I have to push it up so much to make it this, you know, to get to this grade versus in other cases where I don't have to. I think there's a lot of kind of confusion around that. So for instance here, if I want to get up to that B and get a 280 drop, I'm now at a pretty significant power differential for me. But that's only because, for instance, I'm sitting on a 277 weapon here that if I infuse that now and bring up my power, I probably have one other thing I can bring over here. So I can bring it up to 235.
Yep.
This up. Alright, so now I'm up to power level 243.
Carry me,
If I look
please.
at this again. Well, yeah, so I'm
at power
going
level
to-
20.
So here's the nice thing. So here's my power level. And it does the same thing of, you know, it sets it, here's the power team leader, basically. I'm the power team leader, so because mine's high enough, it's going to pull you up to like 235.
Cool.
So it's going to say, okay, like, you know, I'm going to make you effectively this power level. You'll still get drops that are going to be like
my level
40 or something like that, but it's going to be like, hey, we're going to make you effectively this power level so that you have a chance of surviving in here and not just getting one shot, right?
Oh, my equipment's
So-
locked. It's like we're raiding.
Exactly. Probably want a better power weapon than that, but whatever. But yeah, so I mean, like, you know,
I
it's-
want a better power weapon than that.
No, I want a better power weapon. I have a sword, but
Hey, what are we doing? I didn't even see what you picked. Are we doing like
inverted spire strike
as a duo or is it match made?
duo, because I set my own. Because whenever you set your own custom difficulty level, it's going to make it private, basically.
Gotcha.
That explains the noise.
But so yeah, it's like, you know, I get a, you know, like, hey, we finally have a say in how we set these things. How difficult I want to make this, how easy I want to make this. I understand that if I make this easier, then I'm not going to get as good rewards. If I make this tougher, then I'm going to have to work a little bit harder. And in this case, I know I'm going to be rewarded because of that bonus, right? So
Right.
that's the part of this where I'm like, hey, this is good. Make those bonuses more. Like you can crank up, you know, so it's not like 2 or at max 3 drops. Make that like 5 or 6 drops. You ain't hurting anything. People are gonna be more invested. People are gonna want to do stuff more. They're gonna push those hard difficulties when they're like, hey, I can, you know, I can run the same mission on this level and get one piece of loot every like 4 or 5 minutes. Whoops. Or I can do something a little bit harder that takes me 20 minutes and get like six times as much. And it's just like, you know, people eventually do that math and they're just like, oh yeah, this is a better way to play this, better investment of my time. That's like, you know, that's the whole. I am sure those conversations have been
okay.
many times within Destiny offices within Bungie offices for stuff, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, you should never be afraid of giving your players loot. You should never be afraid of like overly rewarding them, because you can dial that back if it seems like it's a bit much. But you know, starting it off low, while you can go up from there, if you lose that player engagement too quick, it doesn't matter how much you crank it up after that, people are gone. Whee! This strike was actually reworked.
I was gonna say,
last year.
this is. I remember Inverted Spire. This was the one where you would fall down to fight the boss at the end, right?
Yep, you
Yeah.
still do. It's just that this little opening bit and then some of the middle bits are a little bit different. this Hydra has the front shielding modifier, so in addition to it having shielding all around it because it's a Hydra, it also has this front shielding modifier that means I cannot shoot it at all. I have to shoot from inside or back. Oh, we got this one we can shoot too. That one over there. And we hack this, I think. Or it just does it. Okay. Bring out my surfboard. Just skip this.
Fuck you.
Get cozy while I wait.
I'll just touch some grass.
What's that?
I don't know, buddy. You tell me. Oh, the traps on the ground make this section a little cooler than it used to be.
I think it's the stuff that's outside that makes me sneeze a bunch.
Oh.
No matter how much I trim it down, it always comes back.
Well, this podcast is sponsored by Manscaped, so, you know. I guess maybe I'm not doing that.
Supplicant with a shield, that's just mean.
Rude.
Banes are really cool. I mean, they're a nice little. I mean, I like them in Diablo. They're a nice thing here. They've been in since the final shape. It seems like they're going to be. They have different ones now. So the front shielding is new. Shrouded, which I don't think we have here, is new. Where it kind of like one enemy is basically casting invis on all the other enemies around it, so you can't see them. There's Screeber. So
Screeber, like, so just a bunch of those assholes.
Yeah, a bunch of the mini screebs. So the enemy will just occasionally pop out the little mini screebs that were.
I don't like that.
One of my favorite memories from the GM days. So they occasionally just pop them out, and then they also, like when they die, they will like pop out 5 of them. So yeah, you gotta watch out for those. Different things that they, you know.
I got Thunderdomed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but you're alright.
I know I'm alright. It was cool to get jailed and then actually have that mean something.
Yes.
Donk.
And we got a bunch of wyverns here in the back, or hydras, as we like to call them.
Because
this hydra,
they thick.
They thick. This hydra is a screever. How nice of it. Nice of it to do that.
I love coming back to a game that I was formerly quite good at and not having retained any of those skills. It's like I just feel like, oh wow, look at my big friend killing literally everything for me.
I'm
Which
quite impressive, thank you.
well, the good news
You
is
know-
I actually don't care.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was like me when I was first going into Final Fantasy 14. You're like, all right, this is how you do this.
Okay, I found a log.
Yes, there are some data pads that are. I don't know. I don't think anyways who actually cares to go listen to this because they're gonna tune into My Name Is Bife. They point towards like. I think
You
we're
mean
going
Lore
back-
Daddy?
Lore Daddy. I think we're going to be going back to Mars. And
Wonderful.
like Mars proper, not the Savathun grown world.
Oh, so actually, like, go see Anna Bray type Mars.
I think so because like basically the logs go through a few different things. One of which though that they're on right now that I'm looking at is them talking about, hey, there's a bunch of Cabal on Mars that are like gearing up. In fact, there's a log entry where they're like, yeah, so those same Cabal went and jumped Xur and stole his weapons, some of his weapons.
His weapons
It's
are not
like-
his own, Jason.
And it's just like, that can't be good that they're taking paracausal weapons. And you're like, yeah, that does not sound like a good thing. So, yeah, we're gonna get our ass back to Mars at some point, which I look forward to. Mars is still probably one of my favorite D1 destinations.
Yeah, it's good. D1, well, they've already gone back to my favorite place in D1, and I was not here to play it.
What's that?
Love the
Leviathan?
yeah.
Well, no.
Not
Leviathan wasn't.
no, not the no the ship, the ship in King's Fall
Oh.
from
The Dreadnought.
yeah, the Dreadnought from Taken King. I'm pretty sure there was a revisit of that.
Last season. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't shoot.
It did not have a patrol space in the same way that it did back then in D1, but yeah.
I got blowed up because I got stuck. Oh look, a conveniently placed other tank.
I regret to inform you, we no longer need the tank.
You know what? That's fine. 5 minutes remaining to score bonus points before the points start ticking down, right?
Nope. It's just, if you want that bonus, you finish within the time.
I see.
You can obviously tell how much I'm concerned about it, so. I'm fairly certain we will hit the B even without it, so. Yeah, you can actually see, so at the bottom right, they have like what your score is as you go, and then you can also see they have bracketed off, hey, you need to hit here to get to, in this case, the B. So, kind of keep track of your progress as you go along. That's done.
What?
No! My friend! What have you done?
I
What
exploded.
did they do to you?
No, I think one of the explodey guys just stood on me and I
My
didn't
sweet
see-
baby boy.
I've abandoned my boy! I've abandoned my child!
I let the Vegas get to him.
I really
Hey,
need
you
to get
want
off.
hot
I really need to get off this buddy build. This is some final shape bullshit I did not like. But it's what I got, damn it.
Hey, you really want the D1 throwback? Yeah, you get off the buddy build, you go back to using fusion grenades and Starfire protocol.
Oh boy, that sounds wonderful. Oh, that looks like a prime engram. Excuse me, bad guys.
You gotta pump up. Prime engrams, they used to be like you had a weekly limit. That weekly limit is now gone. You are free to grind as much as you like every week, with no limits.
Blah, died.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I leave that up to you.
I don't know nor care. I have no opinion.
Yes.
Prime engrams being restricted to a certain number a week was kind of silly though, because they were so infrequent.
Yeah. Oh, lasers.
I've been playing too much Doom. The last FPS I played before this was Doom, and there's no ADS in Doom generally, so like why am I spraying and praying all the time? It's not because I don't know how to play this game. It's because I've been playing Doom.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't have your shield bounce parry.
So I heard they brought Icebreaker back.
They did, yes.
How does one acquire an Icebreaker in this, the year of our Lord 2025?
Would you believe me if I told you there was a dungeon that you needed to do?
Well actually that sounds fun because dungeons in this game are generally quite good.
It's a pretty fun dungeon too. So that is how one acquires it, and the catalyst for it is also in there, and involves a really big
Really big
cool-
show.
A really big shoe, really cool puzzle that, you know, of course now is figured out and solved, but like, it is probably, in my mind, one of the like cooler catalyst things that they've done in a while for how to like go through and get it, and the systems involved. Yeah.
Is it as cool as 0 Hour?
The mission. So again, well, yeah, because it's in a dungeon. So it is most equivalent to Black Armory stuff.
Oh, okay. So like getting Izanagi and all that, you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the whole I can't remember what it was called now, but like that whole thing where you had to go inside the bunker and then you had the different steps where people were shooting the symbols with weapons.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of which
yeah.
was Izanagi's, yeah. So like that whole system is near labs. Something labs, not near labs.
I remember what you're talking about though.
Yeah. Yeah, equivalent to that.
Didn't there used to be a big jump pad instead of a jump puzzle? Or jump?
Correct. There did used to be a big jump pad. Yeah, you platform jump and shoot a little Vex box at the end.
What is? Okay.
Phil Spencer's Vex box.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that one's shielded. We'll get it.
Oh, this shit.
Yep. Run.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, this is different too because there did not used to be all these
Cubbies.
Cyclops shooting at you. There were Cabal and Vex here.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
I'm coming, I'm
Cyclops.
coming. Well, hopefully.
Yay!
Yeah, well, I remember. I was like, I swear there was like a mining rig part of this.
Mm-hmm. Here's the part where we drop down to fight the boss.
We dip our toes in the Vex milk.
Exactly.
Protheon, modular mind,
I'm a gigantic brain.
wielder of Arthax, the time gun, or something. I don't know.
Yep. I know
You
what
know,
you're going for.
it's destiny, okay? Well, you jerk. Bonk.
Down we go.
Ha! And then we have to hop on the little platforms because the floor's gonna be lava in a minute.
Yep.
I think I will go over here now. A little bit less floor is lava than I remember. I thought like the entire floor went bad.
He used to just stand here in the middle, and I mean, we'd pulse it out and
That's right.
pretty frequently. But yeah, I think they opened up, they demarcated a little bit better. So like, showed you, hey, these zones are good, these zones are not good. Hey, it's in a chart. Nice.
Why am I blinded?
Probably something the boss did.
Okay, just desperately trying to remember the mechanics and old stuff, because this is like year one content.
Yep. Yep.
Ah, there.
We did it!
Oh, buddy.
That modular mine is down.
We gotta see.
And drive never cease to
Wait.
amaze me.
They still
Hey.
Yay!
Practical as ever.
You jest, but if they achieve invulnerability
Wonderful.
in one simulation, our very
Well, do you have any
existence will be
final
threatened.
thoughts that you wish to share about Destiny, my good man? Show everyone how you're a Star Wars, because I promised that.
Oh, right. Oh, hold on.
I'm gonna
Hold on,
commend
hold on.
you. You are a joy bringer. You have enriched the game with your presence.
Thank you. You are best dressed.
But you've got a... You look like Sailor Moon.
I do. And now I will unlock my equipment, and I will look like a Star Wars.
Hell yeah.
I'm a Star Wars.
I can't see you.
I'm a Star Wars.
Hold on. Inspect Guardian. You're Petrovenge. You can't fool me. Put on your hat.
Where's that? Always show helm. No. Gameplay. Helmet. Always on. There we go.
Beautiful. Look at that. You're a Star Wars. I love it.
Wait, I can be a different Star Wars.
Oh no. This is horrifying. I don't like it. It's like Darth Vader wearing a summer tank top. Where's your cape?
Hold on.
Thank you.
There. I'm a different Star Wars.
Here are...
I'm a
Hey!
Star Wars!
Everything is IP crossover slop. I love it.
Yay!
Yay! Alright, we'll be back
We learned
next
this
week.
by watching you, Fortnite. Yay!
Yeah. Hey! We'll be back next week with something, but we'll definitely bring the hot takes as well. So we will catch
Thank
you
you for
next
tuning
time.
in to my Destiny 2 TED Talk.
Yes, well, thank you for bringing the skill to this game, because I was basically spectating.
Catch y'all next week.
Bye. And whoop.